What if the game you skipped came back for you? It's been a year since Need for Speed. Unbound tore onto the scene with spray paint speed lines, cel-shaded chaos, and a style that split the room in half. Some people jumped in, others, like me, hesitated. Not because it looked bad, but because it felt unfinished, uncertain, like a wild street racer still tuning its engine before the big run. And that hesitation haunted me. See, I've been the Need for Speed guy for as long as I can remember. Midnight launches, carbon drift sessions, the iconic hum of an overworked engine right before a police pursuit. When Unbound dropped, I wasn't there. Life got in the way. Another host took the wheel. And deep down, that stung more than I expected. So now 1 year later I've returned, not just to race, but to make peace. With the game, with the missed moments, with myself. But here's the twist. Unbound hasn't been idle. It's been growing in the shadows. And Volume 9? It's not just a patch. It's a full-blown invitation back into the chaos, familiar roads, but with new threats lurking in the corners. A new mode, new rides, new reasons to drift dangerously close to obsession. The question is, was it worth coming back? And more. Importantly, did the streets forget me, or were they waiting all along? Stick around! This ride's just getting started. Let's rewind for a second. Before Volume 9, before the motorcycles, before the chaos of lockdown mode, Need for Speed. Unbound was already a game that refused to play by the rules. It's loud, it's flashy, it's unapologetically arcade. And whether you're a die-hard NFS veteran or someone dipping their toes into street racing for the first time, Unbound hits you with a vibe that's hard to ignore. At its core, this is an open-world racer that drops you into Lakeshore, a fictional version of Chicago where every intersection feels like it's begging for a burnout. You start from nothing. You race, you grind, you hustle for cash. Then you spend that cash on new rides, cosmetic flexes, and performance parts that slowly shape your car and your identity on the streets. It's a loop we've seen before, but here it pulses with a certain rhythm, a tempo that leans into the thrill of the chase. But the first thing you notice? The style, the cel-shaded visuals, the anime-like smoke trails, the comic book energy. It's all intentional. Unbound leans hard into an aesthetic that's not afraid to stand out, even if it risks turning people away. And it did. At launch, some players were divided. Was it bold or just bizarre? The good news is most of those visual effects can be toned down, but honestly, once you settle into it, there's something kind of magical about watching your car spark and shimmer as you drift through a rain-slicked midnight turn. Speaking of drifting, Unbound goes full throttle on the arcade side. No sim, steering. No deep tuning rabbit holes. It's tap the brake, flick the stick, and slide like your tires are made of butter. It's not the most refined system NFS has ever offered, but it's undeniably fun. It wants you to feel cool, even if you're terrible at cornering like I am. It gives you moments that feel like a cinematic drift reel, and then there's the city. Lakeshore, urban, gritty, alive. From neon-lit highways to misty countryside sprints, the map isn't massive, but it's layered, lived in. It feels like a racer's playground where every shortcut, ramp, and traffic jam becomes part of your story. This isn't just another NFS title. It's one that asks, what if the streets were yours to paint? And it hands you the spray can. Lakeshore might be a solid playground for high-speed chaos, but the people in it, that's where things start to skid. Let's talk about the characters, because while Unbound nails the driving, it stumbles hard when it tries to talk. The dialogue leans full tilt into Gen Z lingo, meme-ish slang, and over-the-top energy that, let's just say, doesn't always hit. Some lines are genuinely funny. There's the occasional joke that lands with a smirk, but more often than not, the conversations feel like they were written by an AI trained exclusively on TikTok comments and fast food commercials. It's not just cheesy, it's try hard. To be fair, I'm probably not the target demographic anymore, and that's okay. But even with that in mind, some of the banter is rough. Characters toss around dialogue that feels more like a parody of youth culture than anything. Grounded. It's not offensive, just awkward. like someone desperately trying to prove they're cool at a party they weren't invited to. The good news, you can pretty much ignore it. Most of Unbound's charm comes from what happens outside of the cutscenes. When you're behind the wheel, none of that dialogue matters. What does matter is the structure. Day races with safe stakes, night races with bigger rewards and bigger risks. The heat system adds tension, with cops getting more aggressive the longer you stay out. It's a dance of greed and fear. Do you push for one more race, or bank your winnings before the sirens catch up? So yeah, the voices in the game might make you cringe, but the silence of the open road, broken only by the roar of your engine and the chirp of tires, that speaks volumes. Now, let's talk about the grind, because Unbound, like any good street racer, makes you earn every inch. There's plenty to do. Races to win, cars to buy, upgrades to unlock. You'll spend hours stacking cash and sinking it right back into your next machine. If you love the act of racing, of shaving seconds off your time or fine-tuning your ride to perfection, this progression loop works. It's familiar, satisfying, a little old school in the best way. But here's the rub. It's grindy. And not in a chill, just one more race kind of way. No, Unbound demands time. Repetition, persistence. And just when you thought it was enough, EA went and layered in a battle pass. Yeah, that kind of battle pass. It's not the worst implementation, but it still feels unnecessary. Jake, like a lot of us, misses the days when you could just unlock stuff by playing. No XP ladders, no artificial gates. Just grind it out and earn your stripes. Call it nostalgia, but it hits differently. There are a few bugs here and there, cops that spawn from thin air like they've got teleportation powers, but none of it breaks the game. It's still fast, still fun. So, is it worth jumping in now in 2024? Honestly, if you catch it on sale, absolutely. Volume 9 doesn't try to reinvent the wheel, but what it does bring to the table might just make your tires squeal. First off, if you've got even the faintest memory of Need for Speed, Most Wanted, Volume 9 hits you right in the nostalgia. This update comes bundled with throwbacks that feel like a love letter to the golden age of street racing games. The moment you see those iconic rides in your garage, it's hard not to smile. We're talking about the Honda Integra Type R and the Subaru Impreza WRX STI, two absolute legends that scream early 2000s tuner culture. They don't just drive, well, they feel right. Like the past has been reborn with slicker handling and sharper edges. It's smart fan service that doesn't feel forced, just familiar. But the real surprise? Motorcycles. Yes, actual bikes have entered the scene. And let's be real, they're a bit unbalanced, but in the best way possible. These things are fast, like break the game fast. Zipping through traffic, outrunning cops, dodging roadblocks, bikes turn you into a ghost on wheels. The sound. Design is visceral, the controls razor sharp. It almost feels like you're cheating. But you don't care, because it's so much fun. Volume 9 isn't some massive expansion or total rework of Unbound, but it doesn't need to be. What it is a really smart excuse to come back, a reason to fall in love with the game again. To grab a fresh ride, tear through the city, and remember why you started racing in the first place. In a series built on speed, style, and attitude, Volume 9 brings all three, and then hands you the keys. Here's where Volume 9 completely shifts gears, lockdown mode. If the rest of Unbound feels like a street racing sandbox, Lockdown is something else entirely. It's fast, it's chaotic, it's part extraction shooter, part battle royale, part Need for Speed on a sugar rush, and somehow it works. The setup is wild. You drop into Lakeshore with other players. No warm-up, no tutorial, just gas and instincts. Your job, drive like hell. Collect as much cash as you can, steal cars, complete side activities, dodge the cops, avoid EMP zones. Oh, and don't get caught. It's all happening at once. Everything's escalating by the second. You're being guided constantly by this loud, omnipresent voiceover from Racer X. A character who somehow manages to be both helpful and completely annoying. He never shuts up. But he does keep you updated as madness unfolds. New cars dropping, lockups appearing, opportunities popping across the map like a neon fever dream. The tension builds fast. More cops flood the streets. More zones get cut off by deadly EMP walls. Then the extraction truck appears. That's your exit, but getting to it, that's the hard part. You'll have to hold the truck's position long enough to trigger an escape, while other players and AI are trying to take you down. It's adrenaline in overdrive. Oh, and if you manage to extract successfully, you don't just win. You keep what you grabbed. The cash, the stolen ride, the glory. There are 4 contract sets you can complete in Lockdown, each one layering on more objectives, more pressure, more rewards. The Crown Jewel, the Blacklist contracts. Complete them all and you unlock the holy grail of NFS fans. The original BMW M3 GTR from Most Wanted. You know the one. Blue stripes, white body, legend status. It's a lot. Overwhelming at first. Like, what the hell is even happening? Levels of chaos. But once it clicks, it's unreal. Lockdown mode doesn't just add content, it adds identity. It turns Unbound into something that feels daring, experimental, and totally addictive. In a world of safe racing games, Lockdown is pure, beautiful anarchy. Need for Speed. Unbound is still weird. It's stylish, it's messy, it doesn't always know what it wants to be, but somehow that's part of the charm. It's not a clean, polished racer like Gran Turismo, and it's not trying to be. It's loud, chaotic, and unashamedly arcade. And with Volume 9, it's more fun than it has any right to be. No, this isn't a full-on reinvention of the game. It's not a sweeping expansion or a miraculous fix-all. But it is a really good excuse to come back. The new vehicles? Pure nostalgic dopamine. The bikes? Straight-up speed demons. And Lockdown mode? It's a beautiful kind of madness that gives Unbound the edge it was missing at launch. If you skipped Unbound last year, like I did, this might be the moment to finally jump in. And if you've already been burning rubber in Lakeshore, this update gives you a reason to stay a little longer. So let me ask you, are you still racing through the streets, or is this your first time stepping into the chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk, let's argue, let's swap stories, and if this kind of deep dive is your thing, hit like, hit subscribe, and come hang out. We've got plenty more where this came from. This has been another Before You Buy, and now I want to hear from you.